This is the Thriving Dentist Show with Gary Takis, where we help you develop your ideal dental practice.
And so this is a great example of that. In my coaching work, I have quite a number of solo dentist practice owners that produce and collect $2 million a year. $2 million a year. Now, again, does that represent the absolute pinnacle? You know, you got to kind of answer that one yourself as well. And certainly I have solo dentist practices that are producing, collecting more than that. So there is more, but I want to really look at that $2 million solo dentist practice model and kind of break it down into its parts.
Okay.
Naren, you know that I'm a fan of a hygiene-driven practice.
Absolutely.
And part of the way you can measure that and determine that is that your hygiene department is producing at least 33% of your total office production. So Naren, do the math for me.
Yes.
$2 million practice, what am I looking for my hygiene department production? I'm looking for 1/3 of that coming from hygiene.
Right. $667,000.
Yep, $667,000. Now that would be optimized. That would be a very well-performing hygiene department.
Right.
But now that reduces the burden on the dentist, because if we do the math backwards, then how much does the owner dentist need to produce to end up with that two? Let's assume we're getting the 667 coming from hygiene.
Right.
What is the 66.6% that needs to be produced by the owner dentist?
Right. It's $1,333,000.
Yeah, $1,333,000. Now, on first blush, you look at that. By the way, just add those up together. Owner doctor production. He's the only doctor. He or she's the only doctor there, plus the hygiene department. Added up to $2 million.
Yes.
Now, I want to solve the issue of creating a work-life balance. That will typically be done on 4 days a week clinically. All right. Could you do it less than? Perhaps, but think of it as a 4-day week. And now I want to be intentional with your schedule. I want to build in 6 weeks of vacation a year. 6 weeks of vacation. I think most people would appreciate having 6 weeks of vacation a year. I actually want more than that.
Yes.
But think about the business world. Think about that. But 6 weeks a year. So we're going to build that into the model.
Okay.
Well, last time I checked the calendar, there's 52 weeks a year.
Right.
If we're taking 6 weeks off,
46 weeks.
we have 46 weeks left.
Right.
Now, there'll be stray days with holidays and that sort of thing, the Monday holidays and that sort of thing.
Right.
But you'll end up with somewhere between 180 and 184 days a year of work, clinical days a year.
Right.
Somewhere, do the math on it. You can just trust me on it. Somewhere between 180. And so what this breaks down to is that for the owner dentist to be able to support his or her contribution to the total, which was $1,333,000, then basically you've got to produce around $900 an hour, assuming an 8-hour day.
Okay.
Around $900 an hour. Now, when we break it down to that, all of a sudden, what we did is we just started to break it down into bite-sized pieces. Now, $900 an hour is a very productive dentist. There's no denying that.
They're making $7,200 a day.
Yeah, if you're on an 8-hour day, $7,200 a day. And now let's look at that. There might be new dentists, younger dentists listening to this that think, oh my gosh, that sounds like pie in the sky. And it's just perspective, at this point. But if we have doctors that are a little further along in their career, they might realize, wait a minute, Gary, that's very possible. I've had days where I've produced $900 an hour. Now, maybe they haven't done it consistently.
Right.
It's kind of like the football team that wins one game. Well, we got to keep winning. You got to keep doing it. But if you've done it before, it must be possible. Be possible. So here, now break that down. That equates to about a $900 an hour production. Mm-hmm. And that is very doable. And let me describe how this would be typically done. You would typically be working out of 2 rooms. Now stick with me on this. I'm going to show you how to make it sane. It'll be typically working out of 2 rooms, 2 columns with 2 assistants.
One that provides personal, professional, and financial satisfaction.